He's the oldest on the team, been a part of 2 startup programs, and studies the game to a T. But there's a method to Mark Hogan's madness.
I think I am actually the oldest on the roster, date of birth wise. So I've really cherished that role this year. That's been something special that I feel like I've tried to take on and just be a good role model, but also, you know, just give advice to young guys. I've never really been like a really loud, like screamer, you know, in front of a big group, but I can take, you know, 2 or 3 guys and say, hey, let's look at this today, focus on this, and, you know, talk to guys like that.
Mark's really seasoned player, but he brings so much experience just because he's done it. That's really helpful for our guys, where, you know, we can sit in there in the meeting room during practice and, you know, watch number 9 here.
You were part of Georgia State's startup program and made a name for yourself there, a leader in tackles, and then you come to Charlotte and you've begun to make a name for yourself here. You got a thing for startup programs?
It's interesting how the timing works out. You know, I showed a picture I have to David Scott. He came to our 2010 media day, and there's a picture of David Scott interviewing me for a Charlotte Observer article, and he was, you know, talking about Charlotte football and getting perspective from Georgia State. So it's really funny how the timing worked out, that my redshirt senior year is Charlotte's first year, and my redshirt freshman year was Georgia State's first year. So just really ironic.
Fundamentals will set you free. That's our line. You know, when you get into a firefight, you can always count on your fundamentals, and, you know, he really lives by that.
You know, you can just see that even in, you know, plays that were good plays, they could have been better plays, or plays that, you know, you didn't execute the way you could have. You see where you can, you know, where you have the ability to. So I just think that there's always ways that you can help your team out more, even stuff that goes unnoticed, like, you know, if you're setting the edge as an outside linebacker, you can always do that even better. And, you know, that's something that doesn't end up in the stat box, but it's something that helps win games.
He's definitely got a method to his madness. I mean, he's very, very in tune to what's going to help him. Younger guys normally watch what's happening, and Mark watches what's happening and why it's happening.
Let's talk about the Gardner-Webb game. In that game, you had a huge fumble recovery that was a part of keeping that game alive. And we don't see you get animated too much after many plays, but that game you were pretty hyped up.
I mean, the overall, you know, momentum that we created as a team in the 4th quarter was something that, you know, was pretty special. I haven't been a part of many games like that, only maybe 1 or 2 that I can think of, where you really come back from down where it seems like there's no chance, no shot. And so, you know, that's a special moment for our team. And then, you know, we look to build off that. So, you know, we can say, you know, we can compete with people like that, and, you know, if we execute like we did down the stretch of that game, we can win some ball games.
It's awesome watching that. We've got a couple guys in the room that are quiet guys, and all of a sudden you see them get all excited.
Commentators have actually referred to you as a clutch player. How are you able to be so effective in crucial moments like those?
Well, I feel like, you know, just with some of the experience that I've had of having a lot of college football, you know, on the field time and experience, playing time, been through different situations, you know, just when plays present themselves, you know you have to make them.
He never panics. He's been there before, where none of our guys have. So he's really good for us on game day because he's very even keel. Nothing rattles him.
The first touchdown in 49er football history. I don't think anyone expected it to be a pick 6. So what was that moment like when you were the first touchdown?
I remember on the board earlier that week, we have a whiteboard in the locker room, and, you know, it says like who's going to get the first pick. Someone had wrote that down, pick 6, and you know, they wrote down a couple names and stuff, and I was like, man, that would be something cool, huh? But not necessarily thinking it would be the first score, but just wow, you know, what a moment for our program and the school. And another funny story is I actually, since I'm relatively new to Charlotte, I don't know everything about the school, but I asked Mike O'Brien and some other guys about the C-Picks, about the Charlotte C-Picks, and I was like, man, you know, that'd be cool if I made a big play, you know, throw up the C-Picks and act like I know what I'm doing. So that's actually what I did after that play. I was running this way across the end zone, and I just remember the C picks, threw 2 C picks up in the air.